Listen closely, chosen one. The recent season of intense trial you endured was not punishment. While you felt abandoned and questioned your very purpose, a divine evaluation was underway. Every challenge you faced, every moment of despair, was a carefully disguised test from God, and you passed flawlessly. Heaven has been keeping a secret file on you, a divine report card, and the grades are in. This message has found you because it is time to open that file and show you what you have truly accomplished. You need to understand that these were not ordinary exams. There were no instructions, no warnings. This was about assessing your true character when you thought no one was watching. God does not grade your rehearsed prayers. He grades your raw reaction to pressure. What you are about to hear confirms everything you have suspected but were afraid to articulate. There are 13 specific tests that every chosen individual must pass before they are entrusted with high-level authority and abundance. Most people fail at the third or fourth hurdle and spend the rest of their lives wondering why their destiny never arrived. But you, attention, you need to prepare now. I put together an exclusive resource for those who feel set apart for something greater, but live surrounded by noise, distractions, and mental overload. This is a 30-day journey that will transform your life. A guided path to armor your mind and prepare for what's coming with daily practices of focus, boundaries, and discipline. Stop negotiating with the noise. Learn to spot distractions before they control you. And strengthen your mind. Also available in an immersive audio version. Over 10 Zuru readers have already transformed their lives through the 30-day journey. Thousands of people have already started this transformation. People like you who are tired of living in the fog. Ordinary people who decided to stop accepting mental chaos. Take advantage of this limited time offer only this month. Access your link just below in the pinned comment. You are still standing. You may be wounded, you may be tired, but you are here. Let us open the file. The first evaluation recorded in your heavenly dossier is the isolation test. This was not about being physically alone. It was the pain of being alone in a crowd, watching everyone else receive their breakthrough while you remained in waiting. Do you remember those nights when the phone did not ring? Do you recall the family gatherings or office parties where you were surrounded by laughter and conversation, yet you felt an invisible wall of glass separating your soul from theirs? That was not social awkwardness, that was divine consecration. The universe was deliberately removing people from your life who were not equipped to go where you were going. You felt rejected, but you were actually being protected. The isolation test measures your ability to stand on your own 2 feet without leaning on the validation of others. It asks the question, can you be trusted with a vision that only you can see? Many fail here because they lower their frequency just to fit in. But the file shows that even when it hurt, even when you cried in your car on the way home, you did not compromise your essence to buy companionship. You stood your ground in the solitude. That is a passing grade. Before we move to the second test, ask yourself, have you felt like your prayers were bouncing off the ceiling? This brings us to the silence test. This is one of the most excruciating phases for a chosen one. You pray, you fast, you manifest, you do everything right, and in return you get absolute silence. It feels like God has ghosted you. It feels like the universe has turned its back. But here is the secret that most spiritual teachers won't tell you. The teacher is always silent during the test. When you are in school, the instructor speaks during the lesson, but the moment the exam paper is placed on your desk, they stop talking. Why? Because the answer is already inside you. The silence test was designed to mature your intuition. If you always had a booming voice from heaven telling you which turn to take, your spiritual muscles would never develop. You had to learn to trust the quiet whisper in your gut. You had to learn to walk by faith, not by sight or sound. The file indicates that you kept moving forward even when the guidance stopped. You didn't turn back to your old life just because the new direction wasn't clearly illuminated. You took a step into the dark. That courage is rare. You passed. Now we must address something that has likely caused you the most pain in the last few years. The third entry in your file is the betrayal test, often called the Judas test. You cannot be a chosen one without a Judas. It is impossible. Many of you have been stabbed in the back by the very people you helped, fed, and supported. It might have been a business partner who stole your ideas, a spouse who walked away when things got tough, or a best friend who spread rumors about you. This test is brutal because it attacks your heart. It makes you want to close off and never trust a human being again. But the purpose of this test isn't to make you bitter. It is to identify where your source lies. If you rely on people as your source of happiness or stability, their betrayal will destroy you. But if you see people as resources and God as the source, you can survive their departure. The betrayal test checks if you can forgive the unforgivable. It checks if you can keep your heart soft in a world that is trying to turn it into stone. I know you are still healing from this. I know the scars are fresh. But the fact that you are listening to this message means you didn't let the bitterness consume you. You didn't seek revenge, even when you could have destroyed them with the truth. You left their judgment to God. That restraint? That is the mark of a king or queen in training. Passed. The fourth test is one that separates the dreamers from the achievers. The delay test. This is where time becomes your enemy. You have a promise, a vision, a goal. You work hard for it. Logic says it should have happened by now. You see people with half your talent and half your integrity getting promoted, getting married, getting the millions, while you seem stuck in quicksand. The delay test is not about patience. It is about persistence. Patience is just waiting. Persistence is keeping the same energy while you wait. It measures your will to keep moving, planting, and believing when you see absolutely no progress. It is easy to have faith when the bank account is growing. It is easy to worship when the medical report is good. But can you maintain your vision when the timeline makes no sense? The length of this delay directly corresponds to the magnitude of your destiny. If you were building a shed, it would take a day. But you are building a skyscraper, and the foundation takes years. This period of waiting wasn't neglect. It was preparation for a calling so immense it would have crushed you if delivered too soon. You woke up every morning and tried again, even with a heavy heart. You passed. We are approaching the midpoint of the file, and the tests get more subtle here. The fifth evaluation is the scarcity test. This is often the most frightening because it threatens your survival. There was a season, perhaps you were still in it, where resources dried up. Money became tight, clients dropped off, unexpected expenses drained your savings. You looked at your bank account and wondered how you would make it to the end of the month. This test is designed to break your reliance on the material world system and anchor your trust in divine provision. It forces you to realize that your job is not your provider. Your job is just a channel. The source can use any channel. When one stream dries up, the chosen one learns to look for the river, not mourn the stream. This test was checking to see if you would compromise your morals for money. Did you cheat? Did you steal? Did you sell your soul for a quick fix? The file shows that even when you were desperate, you maintained your integrity. You didn't take the shortcut. You trusted that a way would be made where there was no way. And somehow, miraculously, you always had just enough. That was not luck. That was you passing the test. The next revelation might sting a little, but it is necessary. The sixth test is the offense test. In this season, it seemed like everyone was trying to annoy you, disrespect you, or misunderstand you. People said things that triggered your deepest insecurities. Situations arose that were specifically designed to make you lose your temper. The offense test is a trap. The enemy knows that if he can get you offended, he can stop your flow. Offense is a spiritual blockage. You cannot receive a blessing with a clenched fist. This test measures your emotional intelligence and your control over your ego. It asks, are you easily baited? Can a stranger on the internet ruin your day? Can a rude comment from a relative derail your destiny? You had to learn to become unoffendable. You had to learn that people's behavior is a reflection of their internal state, not your value. There were moments you wanted to scream, moments you wanted to fight back, but you chose peace. You realized that your peace is too expensive to be traded for a moment of anger. You swallowed your pride to save your destiny. That is a massive victory. Past. As we go deeper into the secret file, we find the 7th entry, the comparison test. With the rise of social media, this has become the modern battlefield. You opened your phone and saw the highlight reels of everyone else's lives. They seemed happier, richer, more successful. The devil whispered to you, look at them. You are failing. You are behind. This test is designed to see if you can celebrate others while you are still waiting for your turn. It is a test of jealousy versus inspiration. If you see someone else's success and feel bitter, you repel that success from your own life. But if you can look at their victory and say, good for them, that means it's possible for me too, you become a magnet for blessings. The file notes that this was a struggle for you. There were days you felt envy. That is human, but you didn't stay there. You corrected your thoughts. You understood that their race is not your race. You realized that what God has for you has your name on it, and no one else can take it. By staying in your own lane, you passed the test. The 8th test is often overlooked, but it is crucial. The discouragement test. This is different from depression. This is a spiritual fatigue where you feel like giving up simply because you are tired of fighting. You feel like you have been swimming upstream for years. You look at the effort required to reach the next level and you think, I don't have it in me. This test measures your endurance. It is the moment in the marathon when the runner hits the wall. The only way to pass is to keep putting one foot in front of the other, even when your legs are screaming. It is about the power of one more day. You didn't quit. You rested, yes. You collapsed, yes. But you didn't quit. You got back up. As long as you are still breathing and trying, you are passing this test. The file shows that your resilience is your greatest weapon. Before I reveal the final and most dangerous tests, I need you to do something. This is a micro-challenge. If you recognize yourself in these tests, if you feel the resonance of truth in your bones, I want you to declare your victory right now. Engage with this energy. Like this video to seal your passing grades. It tells the algorithm of the universe that you are awake. Now let us proceed to the 9th test, the misunderstanding test. This is when your intentions are pure, but they are interpreted as evil. You try to help, and you are accused of interfering. You speak the truth, and you are called arrogant. You stay silent, and you are called distant. This is the test of reputation. God often allows your reputation to be tarnished to ensure you are not addicted to the praise of men. If you only do good works to be applauded, you are an actor, not a chosen one. You had to learn to be okay with being the villain in someone else's story, as long as you are the hero in God's eyes. It hurts to be misunderstood, especially when you have a heart of gold. But you learned that you don't need to explain yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You let your character speak louder than your words. Past. The 10th test is the confusion test. This happens when the path makes no logical sense. You felt led to move to a new city, but nothing worked out there. You felt led to start a business, and it failed. You felt led to trust someone, and they hurt you. You start to question your own sanity. Did I hear God wrong? Am I crazy? This test is about surrendering your need for intellectual certainty. It is about trusting the mystery. Sometimes the detour is the path. Sometimes the failure was necessary to close a door that would have led to your destruction. The confusion test checks if you trust the shepherd even when the valley is dark and the map is missing. You stopped trying to figure it out with your mind and started trusting with your spirit. You accepted that you don't need to know the how as long as you know the who. That is a passing grade. We are nearing the end of the file. The 11th test is the scarcity of support test. This is different from isolation. Isolation is about presence. Scarcity of support is about burden. You have been carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. You are the strong friend. You're the one everyone calls for advice, for money, for help. But who checks on you? Who carries you? You have felt the exhaustion of being the pillar for everyone else, while your own structure is shaking. This test measures your capacity for leadership. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. God was expanding your capacity to handle weight because the blessing coming your way is heavy. It carries responsibility. You learned that you cannot pour from an empty cup, and you started setting boundaries. You learned to care for yourself so you could continue to care for others. You passed. The 12th test is the identity test. Who are you without your job title? Who are you without your relationship status? Who are you without the money? Life stripped you of these labels to force you to find your true identity. You went through an ego death. The person you thought you were had to die, so the person you truly are could be born. It was painful. It felt like you were losing yourself, but you were actually finding your soul. You stopped defining yourself by what you do and started defining yourself by who you are, a divine being having a human experience. This shift in perspective is the key to the kingdom. You are no longer a slave to external validation. You are free, past. And finally, the 13th test. This is the final exam. The surrender test. This is the hardest one of all. It is the moment where you have to take the thing you want the most, the dream, the person, the goal, and place it on the altar. You have to be willing to let it go. It is the Abraham and Isaac moment. God asks, do you trust me enough to be happy even if I don't give you this thing? As long as you are gripping it tightly, acting out of desperation and neediness, you cannot have it. Desperation repels, surrender attracts. The surrender test is when you finally say, God, I want this, but if it's not for me, I accept it. Your will be done. It is the point of total detachment. The moment you truly let go is usually the moment it comes rushing back to you. The file shows you have recently reached this state. You have stopped fighting. You have stopped forcing. You have exhaled. And because you have surrendered, you have passed the final test. Now listen to me. The file is closed. The stamps are all in the affirmative. You have passed the 13 tests of the chosen ones. So what happens now? This is the part you have been waiting for. When a student passes the final exams, they graduate. You are currently in the transition period between the exam and the graduation ceremony. That is why the air feels different right now. That is why you feel a strange sense of calm mixed with anticipation. The chaos is settling. The enemies are retreating. Because you passed the isolation test, you are about to be introduced to your soul tribe, people who speak your language, who honor your gift, and who push you higher. Because you passed the scarcity test, the windows of heaven are opening to pour out a blessing that you will not have room enough to receive. The financial struggles were training for financial stewardship. You are trusted with wealth now because money doesn't own you. You own it. Because you passed the betrayal test, God is sending you loyalty. True, unwavering loyalty from partners and friends who will defend your name in rooms you are not in. You need to understand the physics of what you have endured. The pressure you felt was not designed to crush you. It was designed to crystallize you. Coal turns into diamond only under extreme heat and pressure. You are the diamond. The cutting and polishing phase is over. Now comes the time to shine. The delay is breaking. The dam is bursting. All that energy that was held back while you were being tested is about to be released in a tidal wave of favor. But there is a responsibility that comes with this news. You cannot go back to thinking like the person who was being tested. You must now think like the person who has passed. You must walk with the authority of someone who has the clearance of heaven. Stop begging for scraps when you have a seat at the table. Stop worrying about the opinions of people who failed their own tests. You have the approval of the Most High, and that is the only validation that matters. This week, you will start to see the signs. A phone call you gave up on will come through. A solution to a problem that has plagued you for months will appear effortlessly. A feeling of joy will return to your spirit without any external reason. These are the first drops of the rain that is coming. I want you to do something very specific to anchor this reality. In the comments below, I want you to type the number of the test that was hardest for you, followed by the words, "I passed." Was it the betrayal test, the delay test, the silence test? Declare it publicly. Test number 4, I passed. Test number 13, I passed. This is not just a comment. It is a testimony. It is you signing your name on the graduation roll. And look at the comments of others. See how many people have walked this same fire. You felt so alone, but look around you. You are part of an army of chosen ones who have been refined in the furnace of affliction. You are not a victim, you are a victor. Before you go, there is one final secret in the file. It says that your greatest days are not in your past, they are in your immediate future. The enemy tried to take you out because he saw what was coming. He failed. You are still here, and because you are still here, anything is possible. Keep your eyes open. The shift has already begun. The tests are over. The time of reward is now. Welcome to your new season. You have earned it. However, there is a distinct footnote in your spiritual file that we must address immediately. Do not click away, because this specific instruction is the difference between keeping your reward and losing it within a month. You see, the most dangerous moment for a soldier is not during the battle, it is right after the victory when they let their guard down. History is filled with empires that fell not during the war, but during the celebration. You have earned this new season, yes, but you currently lack the manual on how to navigate it. The rules that kept you alive in the wilderness will get you killed in the promised land. In the wilderness, you had to fight for everything. In the promised land, you have to steward everything. Those are two completely different energy systems, and if you try to fight a war that is already over, you will sabotage your own peace. This is what psychologists call the upper limit problem, but spiritually, it is an energetic capacity issue. For years, your nervous system has been wired for survival. You are addicted to the struggle. You are used to the adrenaline of the crisis, the cortisol of the deadline, and the anxiety of the unknown. Your body has normalized chaos. Now, as the blessings start to pour in and the peace settles, your body might react in a strange way. You might feel bored. You might feel a sudden urge to create drama where there is none. You might feel guilty for resting. This is not because something is wrong. It is because you are going through withdrawal from your own suffering. You are detoxing from the trauma. Listen closely, because this is where 90% of chosen ones stumble. When the peace comes, do not mistake it for emptiness. Do not try to fill the silence with noise just because it feels unfamiliar. That silence is the sound of God trusting you. It is the blank canvas upon which you are meant to paint your masterpiece. If you panic and revert to your old behaviors, checking up on toxic exes, overworking yourself to burnout, or picking fights with loved ones, you are telling the universe that you are not comfortable with the blessing. You are rejecting the upgrade. You must consciously regulate your nervous system to accept joy. When something good happens this week, and it will, I want you to physically stop, place your hand on your heart, and say, "It is safe for things to go right. It is safe for me to be happy." You have to retrain your body to tolerate high levels of happiness without waiting for the other shoe to drop. There is no other shoe. The storm is over. As you walk into this new season, you must also adopt the law of silence. This is crucial. In the past, you may have shared your dreams, your struggles, and your plans with anyone who would listen, seeking validation or comfort. That ends today. The file indicates that your level of influence is increasing, which means your level of privacy must increase to match it. You are entering a phase of rapid manifestation. Your words carry more weight now than ever before. If you broadcast your next move before it is solidified, you invite the energy of envy, doubt, and interference from others. Not everyone is happy you passed the test. Not everyone wants to see you graduate. There is a biblical principle that warns against casting pearls before swine. This isn't calling people pigs. It is a metaphor for value. Do not offer your precious, fragile new beginnings to people who do not have the capacity to value them. When you get that business idea, keep it to yourself until it is launched. When you meet that new partner, nurture the connection in private before splashing it on social media. When you receive that financial breakthrough, do not announce the amount. Build in the dark and let the results announce themselves in the light. Your power now lies in your mystery. People should look at you and wonder how you did it, not know every step of the process because you live-streamed it. The less you reveal, the more people are drawn to your energy, and the more protected your blessings remain. Furthermore, you need to prepare for the shift in personnel. This is often the most painful part of the graduation. As you ascend to this new frequency, you will notice that certain people simply fall away. It won't necessarily be a dramatic fight or a betrayal. It will just be a drift. The phone stops ringing. The conversations feel dry. You no longer resonate with their complaints or their gossip. Do not chase them. I repeat, do not chase what is leaving. You are a rocket ship taking off. You have to drop the heavy boosters that helped you get off the ground, but cannot go with you into orbit. If you try to hold on to people who are committed to staying in the old season, you will remain tethered to the ground. This includes family members who are addicted to their own victimhood. It includes friends from childhood who mock your growth. It includes colleagues who bond over negativity. You are not abandoning them. You are outgrowing the container you shared with them. Bless them, love them from a distance, but do not lower your vibration to make them feel comfortable. If you shrink to fit into their reality, you insult the God who expanded you. The space they leave behind is not empty. It is being prepared for your soul tribe, the new connections I mentioned earlier. But these new connections cannot enter if the seats are still filled by the ghosts of your past. Let the dead leaves fall so the new growth can emerge. Now let's talk about the speed of thought. In the testing phase, there was a delay between what you asked for and what you received. That delay was a mercy. It gave you time to mature so you wouldn't destroy yourself with what you wanted. But because you have passed the tests, the buffer time is collapsing. The lag time is disappearing. This means your thoughts are going to manifest into reality much faster. This is a superpower, but it requires extreme mental discipline. You can no longer afford the luxury of a negative thought spiral. You cannot afford to sit around imagining worst-case scenarios because you are now powerful enough to call them into existence. You must become the guardian of your own mind. When a fear-based thought enters, you have seconds to arrest it. Do not let it take root. Do not water it with emotion. Replace it immediately with the outcome you desire. If you catch yourself thinking, "What if I lose it all?" immediately pivot to, "What if I multiply it all?" Your mind is no longer a garden where weeds can grow unchecked. It is a high-tech manufacturing plant. Everything you think is an order being sent to the warehouse of the universe. Since you have the clearance of a chosen one, your orders are processed first. Use this power wisely. Speak life, speak health, speak abundance. Even when your physical reality hasn't caught up yet, speak it until the molecules rearrange themselves to obey your command. I also see a specific instruction here regarding your purpose work. For a long time, you have felt like you were waiting for permission to step into your calling. You were waiting for a certificate, a title, or someone to open the door for you. The file says, the waiting is over. You are not waiting for the door to open. You are the one holding the key. The hesitation you feel is just the echo of your old imposter syndrome. The world is waiting for your unique signal. There is a book you need to write, a business you need to start, a community you need to lead, or a healing modality you need to share. Whatever that nagging idea is, the one that won't leave you alone when you're trying to sleep, that is your assignment. Do not look at the market and say, it's already saturated. Do not look at others and say, they are doing it better. No one can do it with your frequency. Your specific blend of experiences, pain, victories, and personality is the exact medicine a specific group of people need. Attention, you need to prepare now. I put together an exclusive resource for those who feel set apart for something greater, but live surrounded by noise, distractions, and mental overload. This is a 30-day journey that will transform your life. A guided path to armor your mind and prepare for what's coming with daily practices of focus, boundaries, and discipline. Stop negotiating with the noise. Learn to spot distractions before they control you, and strengthen your mind. Also available in an immersive audio version. Over 10 Zuru readers have already transformed their lives through the 30-day journey. Thousands of people have already started this transformation. People like you who are tired of living in the fog. Ordinary people who decided to stop accepting mental chaos. Take advantage of this limited time offer only this month. Access your link just below in the pinned comment.